Hey there, welcome to day one of Ditch the Diets in 2020 challenge. I'm Wendy Taylor, non-diet dietitian and creator of Finding Food Freedom. I designed this challenge to help women that are sick of trying diets year after year with no results and are ready to find their true purpose in 2020 by taking 5 days to put together a strategic plan to uncomplicate their health and start to build the foundation to restore their relationship with food in their body. Now, why is planning so important? Well, in the past few years that I've been working with women that struggle to ditch dieting and normalize these disordered eating habits and patterns, I've seen the clients that get the best results are mentally in the right space to begin to work on themselves internally and in a way that diets can't. The women that struggle are the ones that are constantly chasing the next shiny object or diet after diet, and they simply are not in the right headspace to take care of themselves and their health. So, over the next 5 days together, I'm going to walk you through a strategic planning process for 2020 to get you into that brain space to finally make a change this time. This is the same process that I take my one-on-one clients through and the members of Finding Food Freedom as they embark on their journey to ditch diets and find that food freedom they're looking for. So we're kicking off day one with what I like to call a diet history assessment. If you haven't grabbed your workbook, make sure that you go grab your workbook for this right now. These workbooks are the most important part of this challenge, and it's something that you'll need to refer to over the coming days and over the coming year, because you can listen to everything I have to say. But if you don't sit down and create your very own plan to ditch dieting in 2020, you will not see the results that you're looking for. And it will be easier to run back to another diet. So go grab your diet history tool and let's figure out where dieting has led you up to this point. So if you're listening along and you did not get the workbook, make sure that you head on over to pantrydr.com/ditch the diets to get your copy and get access to all of the workouts we'll be going through in the next 5 days. Just join the challenge and you'll receive an email with your free workbook. You'll get the first one and then you'll get several following that. Okay, so you might be wondering, why are we starting out with a diet history assessment and not just jumping into the fun stuff like learning about nutrition or how to make space for workouts during the week? Or, well, there's a lot that led you up to this point. And by going through this assessment or this diet history tool, you'll be able to analyze your life and your diet patterns and see whether what has or what has not been working for you this far in terms of your overall health. This will be a great start to understand what is the best course of action for you. So here's a good example. Professional athletes know the value of reviewing their plays. Oftentimes, they will record their plays during games and practices, and during their downtime, they'll review. They spend as much time reviewing their technique as they do actually practicing. They watch reel after reel, playing things back so that they need to see what they need to focus on or what they need to improve, and understanding certain areas that they might need help with. So if there's a bad habit or a challenge that they're having, that they're able to understand what's completely holding them back from where they are wanting to go. So a diet history tool is the same idea. It's taking a look back over how diets have worked for you and what your health history has looked like up to this very point. So as you download this diet history tool workbook, you're going to notice that we're going to go back to your very first experience with dieting. why you went on that diet, what you weighed, how long you stayed on that diet, how much weight you lost, how long you kept it off. The next thing you're going to review is your next diet, why you went on that diet, what you weighed then, when you started that diet. Okay, how long were you on that diet? How much did you lose? And how long did you keep it off? And we go on. The reason we go diet to diet through the years is that we tend to only recognize high points and we'll remember the low points, but we don't always remember what happened in between. We might remember, ooh, I lost a ton of weight on that one diet, or, maybe we don't always remember that we gained more than we lost when we take a look back over the history and see how much we weighed when we started the next diet. So I want you to go ahead and download the workbook, and the chart will be on page 2. You'll start by thinking back about what age you began your first diet. From there, you'll need to reflect back on the reason for starting that diet. I want you to really go back and think about each and every diet and the reason for that diet, okay? Then after you fill out the timeline on page 2, you'll have some journal prompts to think about on page 3. And I want you to think about why you started that diet, that very first diet. Was it family? A physician? Maybe it friends? Was it something else totally? I really want you to think about how the diets made you feel. Were you actually thinking about, what were you actually thinking about when you were on that diet? How did that diet actually make you feel? This part is so important to review, you guys. So once you've taken yourself through all the journal prompts and really thought about where diets have led you up to this point, then we will learn a lot more about ourselves and what our life and dieting has to share with us. I want you to notice any patterns that stick out, like what kept you going back to Weight Watchers every few years. It is really important to understand what is not working with your health so that you can stop putting your hard-earned resources, that's your time, your energy, your money, into those things. When you go into this process, I also want you to think about what you should do more of or less of as you go into 2020. Okay, maybe you can identify some trends as you work through this tool, this assessment. Maybe you notice that the more diets you've been on, the harder it was to stick to them. Maybe you've said diets have worked for me and now you realize, well, it was only temporary. And you know you want something sustainable. So go ahead and do your download, your diet history assessment. And if you're finding this challenge on the website, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram or other places that I might be sharing it, I want you to make sure you go on, head over to pantrydr.com/ditch the diets to get the workbook, and go ahead and do your diet history assessment. And I'll see you in tomorrow's challenge.